Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Today, I want to sit back, relax, and talk about Call of Duty World War II. There is a lot of talk and a lot of hype behind Call of Duty World War II. A lot of people are excited. Team Martin's always super excited, but I know it seems like everybody in the Call of Duty community is excited except for me. Is it because I'm a glaring pessimist? Probably, but I'm also really tentative when it comes to Call of Duty multiplayer. I've been burnt really badly in the past. So, what do we expect from Call of Duty World War II? In order to predict or know what to expect from a game, we have to look at the facts that we have. And the facts that I have available to me are a lot of opinions, which is not something I'm comfortable with, which is probably why I'm pessimistic in the first place, but a lot of people have been saying a lot of things, and a lot of those things are saying like this is sort of in the style of a Black Ops 2 Call of Duty. Now, I don't know if that's because it's a really fast-paced boots on the ground and that's really the only comparison or what, but I know this is being made by Sledgehammer, and from that, we can kind of take a few stabs at what I believe this game is going to be like. We can do that by looking at Advanced Warfare. Now, Advanced Warfare, if we take away the advanced movement, we have something similar to Treyarch. I always think of Sledgehammer as them trying to be like Treyarch, but maybe just aesthetically differently. One of the main things that I'm personally expecting and really dreading is going to be the map design here. And the few maps that I've seen in the kind of beta multiplayer stuff and the leaked game, or not leaked gameplay, just the showing off gameplay of the mini-map and just taking a look at the map itself, they really seem like simplistic 3-lane maps. Now, simplistic 3-lane maps are something that I have an issue with because they were so overused in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and I couldn't really tell if they were overused in Advanced Warfare because map design in that game was just horrible because of advanced movement. But that's not the point here. The point is, I'm nervous about these maps being simplistic 3-lane maps because that's all we've gotten from Treyarch the past 2 times they've made Call of Duty. And it's not necessarily a bad map design, but when it's repeated 16 times and those are your base maps, it gets really repetitive and really boring. And personally, I don't like them because there's not a lot of strategy to them, there's not a lot of flanking to them, it's really 50-50 gunfights, but we're not here to talk about why I don't like that map design. I've heard lots of talk saying that this is going to be a fast-paced, kind of like Black Ops 2 pace shooter, and I think that that map design is going to have a big part in that. That's simplistic, you're always in a gunfight, you spawn in and you're right there in a gunfight, you spawn in and you're right there in a gunfight, and that can be really bad for people who are trying to play intelligently and trying to flank and move around and survive and increase their KD rather than just mindly get into some action. Another thing that I'm worried about, that I'm always worried about because the last couple Call of Duties have never had this before, and that is decent footsteps. I mean, ever since Call of Duty Ghosts, the footsteps have been just dropping each year. Advanced Warfare is the biggest offender because you're this big guy in metal attached to your limbs and you're jumping 20 feet in the air and landing on the ground, and you are quiet, you are dead silent, and awareness did nothing in that game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Black Ops 3 was similar. Black Ops 3 had some footsteps, it was actually quite decent, but then again, it was still, if you played like Domination, if you heard a gunshot, then you would not hear footsteps. And same thing with Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare is actually the best footsteps we've had in the last 3 years of advanced movement, but you still can't reliably hear them like you could in Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, and Call of Duty Ghosts. You may ask, why is that such a big deal? Well, it's an awareness thing. It's like if you took away your minimap for a Call of Duty. It's like, well, the minimap is an essential piece of that Call of Duty formula. I believe footsteps are an essential piece of this Call of Duty formula. And with Sledgehammer's last game, and with the way a lot of people are going with Call of Duty, I don't know if there's going to be good footsteps in this game, or at least usable footsteps. And the last thing that I'm kind of worried about is what I believe Drifter and I think Exclusive Ace kind of brought up is there's a possibility that there's going to be a lot of things that are unbalanced, and that fits right in line with Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare was in line with Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2 even, with the most unbalanced and horrible balance in a Call of Duty ever. I mean, ever. The BAL and the ASM-1 are absolutely overpowered and ridiculous, and they never, ever fixed it. You can't snipe in Advanced Warfare, you can't shotgun, you can't do it. There's 2 weapons that you use in Advanced Warfare, and if you're not using those 2 weapons, you're at a disadvantage. So when I hear and the kill streak balance, while their kill streaks were innovative, and I really appreciate that about Advanced Warfare. It's the only thing I appreciate about Advanced Warfare. The kill streak balance was awful. You would have some streaks that are just OP and incredible to use. You would have other streaks which are just utter garbage and awful to use. I really do trust Exclusive Ace's opinion. He will observe the game and make observations really genuinely. And when he says that he thinks that the flamethrower or the Molotov cocktail are overpowered and the UAV is a little bit too expensive, that's when I start getting nervous. Okay, maybe not with the UAV. I kind of like that the UAV is difficult to get because it's such a powerful kill streak and, you know, it's revealing your whole position, so that's all good. But with the flamethrower and the Molotov cocktail, when you get something that kills you so quickly and there's not a lot of reaction time or a lot of counterplay to it, it makes me really nervous. And with Sledgehammer having the history that it does with Modern Warfare 3 and with Advanced Warfare, it makes me very nervous. However, there are some positives, and we are going to look at the positives here because there's a little bit of me that is genuinely excited for this game, and that's kind of the meta stuff. The training headquarters facility, that looks really interesting. The 1v1 pit, more importantly, the score streak training, that's going to be awesome for testing out score streaks, for testing out what's effective. That's going to be huge for YouTubers like Tabor Hill and Exclusive Ace for doing in-depth video guides and how to use this score streak effectively and figuring out exactly what it does and how to counter it and that sort of stuff. That is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to the new game mode War. I think what I would like to do is play more with you guys, with you subscribers, and hopefully get like a really strong team together to where we can always play together and have a good team where I'm not stuck with terrible teammates, because these are game modes. Like, I look at War and that game mode and I think that's going to be awesome, except when you play it in a public match, because your teammates are going to be stupid and they're not going to play the objective and they're going to do something weird. So playing with the team, coordinating that is going to be probably the best experience that you can get with a team. So I think that's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be fun. It's going to change up the Call of Duty formula just enough to give you something new. It's a couple different mini objectives in one big long game of Call of Duty. We've never seen that before, or at least we have, but we only saw it with like Momentum and Advanced Warfare and the War game mode in World at War. But I think this is going to be a really good addition to that game, to this game mode. This game mode will be a good addition to this game. And finally, I'm excited for the era. I'm excited for World War II. I think they've done, from all the publicity or all of the marketing that they've done, they've really shown that they are trying to be as genuine as possible to the World War II era. Now, of course, maybe not so much in factions and realistic stuff like you're fighting Nazis and all that stuff, but this is like a multiplayer arena, so I don't really, that has no effect on immersion for me. But when it comes to the weapons, when it comes to the aesthetics, the kill streaks, the actual places where we're fighting, aesthetically, this really does look like a good, solid Call of Duty game. And you know what? I guess I'm excited for Boots on the Ground. I think that's going to be just a monumental step forward for a lot of people. Even though you are going to get the people who are like, well, I never had a problem with jetpacks. Why did they take them away? This community is growing so big. I want to do a whole separate video on that. We have a community for each and everything that they added in Call of Duty, and it's time for Call of Duty to just put its foot on the ground. That pun was not intended there, but it's supposed to put its foot down and say, hey, this is what Call of Duty is going to be, and then let people decide whether or not they like it, and that's their audience. But anyway, that's my rant for today. That's kind of my thoughts for World War II. I'm sitting here, it's the day before the beta goes live, and I'm nervous and excited at the same time. And I'm excited for a Boots on the Ground Call of Duty. I'm nervous that it's going to be just like Black Ops 2, and it's going to be kind of 50-50 and not a lot of strategy involved and that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably do some live streaming, hopefully. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.